Hello, my name is MagentaLewi, and welcome to episode 8 of WarpCraft. Last episode I exploited a lot of villagers, getting me some emeralds and, more importantly, my first mending books. And I also helped Sylvan cut a bunch of wood for a building project that we'll go see when it is at some point finished. For this episode we are, of course, first of all gonna celebrate the 100 subs that I got on the channel recently, and after that we'll start working on the main base for this season and make our first farm in the industrial area. So to celebrate the 100 subs on my channel here on WarpCraft, I set up this chest here with the 100 sub special, donate 100 random blocks. So I gave this job to everybody on the server so that everybody has donated 100 random blocks and I have to build something out of it. And I've also chosen to give myself 100 blocks in the end to try and make it look prettier, because I have a feeling that this is gonna be so random and such ugly blocks that, well, yeah, it's gonna need some saving in the end. But let's have a look at what and how many blocks I've gotten. Okay, well, it's not as bad as I had feared. I knew I would get melon, which is really hard to build with, and polished diorite is not that pretty. Purple block is hard to make something pretty out of as well. Coal ore is gonna be interesting. And of course, the subscribe to GTA Blade Games bamboo is gonna be really hard to build with as well. But let's find the location for this build and start building the 100 sub special challenge. I've just chosen this location here right next to my nether portal, which will also be right next to my main base, which I've already built a little bit of, but that's a spoiler for later in the video, so let's just go to the 100 sub build here. I'm gonna make some kind of building maybe that you can live in, or maybe some sculptures or something. I haven't really planned it yet. I think I'm gonna come up with it as I go, so yeah, let's see what we can build out of this. I'd definitely say that I found a pretty clever way to use the melon and the polished diorite as well as the bamboo, using them as sticks holding up these signs. But I already ran out of diorite, so I'm gonna spend some of my 100 blocks myself on diorite, which is a shame. And I think it's still gonna be really difficult using the last of these blocks. These are so random and does not fit well together at all. So yeah, still a long way to go, but this looks pretty good so far. And after building this massive sign, I really struggled with what to build next. But then it just came to me, and I actually just built all of it with all 900 blocks. So this is the 100 sub celebration on the WarpCraft server. First off, I made these melon trees here, which are really weird, but it actually works. I mean, it does fit kind of well together. And then I got this huge thing here, which is very magical to walk on, because there's amethyst blocks underneath this carpet. And this is all the entrance to this house of the Iron Golem Sylvan. So this is where he lives. This is his house with the end stone and then black stone. And he got a little oven and a crafting table. And then in here is his dining room, where he shows off his riches. And he can sit here and eat some melon from the melon trees. And then over here is his bedroom, with some very weird walls in here. Yeah, it looks kind of weird, but I mean, it almost functions. And then, if you are good friends with the Iron Golem Sylvan, he will let you down into his cellar, where he stores all his riches with all the iron and gold blocks. But you also have to rip off his arm, but he's okay with that if you're friends with him. And where does he get all these riches? Well, he gets that from these mystical, magical, and very profitable cave here, mining cave, that he got. I think he's the only one on the server who got this kind of cave. I really wanted this kind of cave. because it's filled to the brim with riches. So yeah, that is all I could come up with these 900 blocks in total, building yeah, something kind of cool. I think it kind of works, even though it's a mishmash of all sorts of blocks. So yeah, if I haven't said that already, thank you so much for subscribing. I'm really happy about the 100. Next up, I've heard that somebody has put a request in my shop, so of course we have to check that out. We got a commission here from Tough Daveman once again, and it's called Mountain. Hello, good sir, it is me once again. I need help with my mountain. Do you know the anime Naruto well? I am making the mountain with the stone faces, but my terraforming is, as I should call it, shit. So could you help me out? I will provide a few pics in Discord. And yes, he has already shared these pictures with me, and if you don't know, this is how the Naruto Leaf Village looks, and that is what Dave is actually trying to build here on the server. So this is a massive project, and well, I'm not that good at terraforming either. I've not been unsuccessful when I tried to terraform myself, but that has been on a much smaller scale. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting, but of course we're gonna do our best. I'm gonna ask Dave if he got the materials himself, or if I have to help get those for him, or how much I'm actually having to do with this job. So yeah, I'll check on Dave, and then we will return to this job later. So I've asked Dave where the coordinates are for this base, and if I actually have to bring the materials or if he has them himself. And while we wait for him to return, let's take a look at my own base. I already spoiled it earlier in the video, and you can kind of see it behind me right here. But if we take a look at the map here, you can see this is actually how the base is gonna look this season. It's not that big, but then at the same time, it's probably the biggest base that I've ever had. So this down here is gonna be my house, and then I'm probably gonna use these two. And then this is gonna be Kat's house, and she's gonna have this turret. And then this and this is gonna be common turrets that we both can use. So let's go take a look at it in real life just to get a sense of how big it actually is. As you can see, I still need to do a lot of terraforming before it's perfect. But I want to build the base itself first, and then we can think about terraforming afterwards. But as we get closer, you can very clearly see that this is the entrance, and then this is going to be the huge courtyard. So I'm probably going to have a stables so that Kenny can have a home. And then this is like the guard towers. There's going to be one on each side, of course. Oh, I still love this build, by the way. Thanks to everybody who contributed to this. This is so awesome. But yeah, and then we can walk inside the walls. This is going to be the walls that are 3 wide. And then we are going to have these. This is going to be Kat's, of course. This is her home. So it's going to be this big. And then it's going to be in 2 storages. My house is going to be 2 storages as well. And then this big tower here in the middle is probably going to be 3 high, maybe. 3 storages, that is. So it's going to be really high. So there's going to be plenty of space. And then this is going to be my house. It's going to be huge. And it's going to have an upstairs as well. And then I'm probably going to make a fountain and a nice garden. We're going to make a huge garden here connecting the 2 bases. There's supposed to be a door here as well. So yeah, this is going to be really, really awesome. But all we have to do now is get all the materials. And it's going to take a long time to get all those materials, because we're going to use a lot of cobblestone, a lot of normal stone, a lot of andesite. And then I'm going to use a lot of deep slate and copper and, yeah, spruce wood maybe. I'm not entirely sure of the way I'm gonna decorate it just yet. I'm not sure of the design just yet, but it's gonna be really epic, and I cannot wait to get starting on this build. But just to give you a little better sense of how this is gonna look, I have done a little bit in my creative world, so I just want to show you that just for a second. My testing world, and as you can see, I have been planning out the 100 sub special build in here. I've been testing out my shop, and I've done some thumbnails here, and of course my starter base was planned out here. That is where I recorded the tier list video that I did a few weeks back. And then this is of course the castle. This is where I planned it out, how it's gonna look. Now it's not entirely the same, but it's roughly how the draft is looking on the actual WarpCraft server. So as I said, this is going to be the guard towers, roughly in this height, I think. And then it's going to be a mix of cobblestone, andesite, and normal stone. And then I'm going to use a lot of this crimson planks because they are red with my texture pack and not purple. And the red going with deep slate is just freaking beautiful. So I want that on my base this season. Now I've made it so that we can use these turrets as rooms in our houses. So this is roughly how big a cat's house is going to be. And then as I said, this is going to be the garden. And then the stables over here. And then this is my house. So I go in here. And then I can go out to the garden here. And then I'm going to have a huge room. And just as I said in the WarpCraft server, we are going to have not rooms, but corridors going through from each turret to the other turrets. And then, of course, you're also going to be able to go upstairs. There's going to be 2 floors on all the turrets and the houses as well. And then I'm probably going to have a house in here. And then I'm thinking that we're probably going to make an enchantment table in this one that is shared by both of us. So this might have given you a little bit better sense of how it's going to look in the end. This is not near how it's going to look in the end. It's not how it's actually going to look. It's going to be much more cool than this, but this is just to give you an idea of how it might look in the end. So yeah, I'm super excited to build it, and I hope you are super excited to see how it's going to turn out in the end. But once again, it's gonna take a long time to get all of the resources and all the materials to build this base. And it would of course make it a lot easier if we have the best gear possible. And we also need a beacon. So that's the plan for now. We're gonna get those 2 things, starting with the great gear. But I am already 1 step ahead, and in this box I got all my gear fully enchanted. Almost, that is, because I still need mending on basically all of it, and then I need to combine some of it with some of these books here. You can see Unbreaking is what I need to combine the most of the stuff with, and then I'm gonna combine this with Feather Falling and some more protection. We got Unbreaking to the Super Shears here with Efficiency 5, and that is because you can make plants with wool and then make drafts of bases or farms or whatever. And then with Efficiency 5 shears, you can actually insta-mine the wool, so you can make color-coordinated plants for bases, and that's really smart. And then, of course, the helmet needs to be combined with these 2 books, and I got a lot of Unbreaking and Feather Falling for these as well, so we are protected in the nether as well. And then again, Unbreaking for the shields. The reason I want to get it Unbreaking and mending on the shields are because I want to make some banners and put on the shields. And just not to make too many banners, I have to make mending shields so that they won't break. So yeah, that's a lot of stuff that I need to combine, and I of course need mending on all of it. And that does cost a lot of emeralds. So the next thing that we are gonna do is get a lot of emeralds. And as it is right now, I don't get that many emeralds from my villagers because it's not that efficient at the moment. So of course we're gonna need a lot of farms, and the farm that I have in mind is a potato/carrot farm, because I already got a lot of farmers, and it should be quite efficient if you can make the farmers throw the potatoes and the carrots to you, and then you can sell the potatoes and carrots to them and then profit on their work. That is the farm I want to make to get a lot of emeralds. Besides that, I am also completely out of rockets. So we of course need rocket farms, and that is of course the gunpowder and the paper farm. And exactly, paper is actually really great for our purpose, because if we make a paper farm, we can also make a cartographer villager and then sell the paper to him. So with a paper farm, we can both get a lot of rockets and we can also profit on that. So that is definitely the plan, the next plan in this long line of plans. Make a potato and carrot farm and of course a paper farm. So I think I'm gonna start with the paper farm so we can get a lot of emeralds and of course some rockets. This is a long line of plans as we are going to make the paper farm, to make the potato farm, to get rockets, and then to get mending on all our gear. And then with that gear, I'm gonna go and get some netherite, and we're gonna go get a beacon. And with that, we can then start getting the materials for the base, and then in the end, we can build the base. So yeah, that's a long line of duties we have to do. But it's probably gonna be really funny along the way, and it's gonna be really awesome to get all that done. So let's just get to it. I now realize that I've been talking way too much today, so to make sure that the video doesn't get too long, I'm just gonna build the sugarcane / paper farm, and then we can end the video for today. In this shulker box here, I have gathered almost all the materials, so I'm just gonna gather the rest of it, and then you can enjoy a time-lapse of the farm itself being built. As you can see here, I have already built half of the farm, and that is because, well, to be honest, I already built it, realizing that I did it incorrectly, and then I had to start over with this side. Yeah, did I mention that I'm not really good at building farms in Minecraft? But what I'm doing here is building a row of black stone and then with some redstone blocks, and then on the left side you can see a hopper with a lot of chests that will pick up all this sugarcane. And then on this row I am also building this powered rail here where a hopper minecart will pick up all the sugarcane. On top of this row I am placing a row of dirt, and that is of course where we will plant all this sugarcane. Next up, of course, we need this sugarcane to have some water, so that is placed behind that dirt row, and then on top of that dirt row you will put some cobblestone. And then on top of that cobblestone, of course, we need some pistons to push the sugarcane to destroy it so that the hover minecart can pick it up. And then once more on top of the pistons, you will add some observers. And please don't be an idiot like me, they can be difficult to place, but they are not this difficult to place. I am an idiot. What am I doing? I keep fucking it up. But eventually I get there and we get placing all the observers, and then as soon as one sugarcane is detected, all of it will be removed and picked up by the hover minecart. Next up, of course, the sugarcane needs to be placed, because what is a sugarcane farm without the sugarcane? Lastly but not least, I am placing glass in front of the hover minecart so nothing will interfere with it. And then of course I am also placing glass in front of the sugarcane so nothing of it will spill out of the farm itself. And so there is the farm. It's just a classic, easy to set up sugarcane farm with the pistons and of course the observers to see whenever a single one grows, it destroys the whole row of sugarcane, giving us a bunch of sugarcane. And as soon as you actually use a hover minecart, it collects all of the sugarcane, and in this one we already got 35. It's just been running for, I don't know, a minimum amount of time. And then the other side have been running, of course, while I was building the other side, and we already got more than a stack. So if we make this into paper and then go down here, I have set up the cartographers. So behind all of these doors there is a cartographer, and we can quickly go here and trade up with this dude. There we go, that was all, but still I made 4 emeralds just by that, by standing here for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes max. So it's already very efficient. And yeah, so that is actually it for this episode. Next time we are of course gonna return to the massive project that Dave has asked us to do, building the Naruto mountain, and we will of course also be working a lot more on the industrial area. I really hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, then please leave a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. Check out the links in the description, where you will also find the link to my Discord server. With all that out of the way, thank you so much for watching.